Most people think success is about endless hustle, willpower, or luck. They believe the future is shaped only by hard work done every single day. But the real breakthrough happens when a system is built, a structure that works quietly, consistently, and effortlessly, turning small actions into lasting growth. I, Napoleon Hill, have learned that real progress is not built on random effort, but on creating a system that works even when focus fades. When you choose to design habits, routines, and structures without waiting for luck, applause, or guidance, success multiplies naturally because true growth comes from order, not chance. 1. Foundation before construction. You stand before a choice that will determine everything. Most people build their lives like houses on sand. They start with good intentions, work hard for days or weeks, then watch everything crumble when the first storm arrives. You have done this before. We all have. The problem is not your willpower. The problem is not your desire to change. The problem is that you are building without a foundation. Watch a master builder construct a house. He does not begin with the walls. He does not start with the roof. He digs deep into the earth first. He pours concrete. He waits. He tests the strength. Only then does he build what others can see. Your life requires the same approach, yet you keep trying to change by adding new habits to old, weak foundations. You decide to wake up early, but your evening routine remains chaotic. You commit to exercise, but your rest and nutrition stay unchanged. You promise to save money, but your spending patterns remain untouched. This is like adding a fourth story to a house built for 3. The structure cannot hold. It will collapse. It must collapse. Here is what you must understand. Lasting change happens at the foundation level, not the surface level. When you build the right foundation, good habits become automatic. When you skip the foundation work, even simple habits become struggles. What creates a strong foundation? 3 pillars support every lasting system. The first pillar is clarity. You must know exactly what you want and why you want it. Not the fuzzy, someday dreams that most people carry, but crystal clear pictures of your future self. You must see this person so clearly that you can describe how they think, how they act, how they spend their time. This clarity becomes your North Star. It guides every decision. The second pillar is commitment. Not the emotional excitement that comes and goes with your mood, but the deep decision that remains steady regardless of how you feel. This commitment says, I will do this because I have decided to become this person. It does not depend on motivation. It depends on identity. The third pillar is consistency. Small actions repeated daily create massive results over time. 1 perfect day means nothing. 1,000 ordinary days mean everything. This pillar requires you to value the boring work that nobody sees. It requires you to show up when you do not feel like it. Most people reverse this order. They try to be consistent without commitment. They try to commit without clarity. They wonder why their efforts fail. You cannot build a strong house on weak ground. You cannot build a strong life on weak foundations. The work begins below the surface, in the invisible realm where your thoughts become patterns, your patterns become habits, and your habits become your destiny. When you establish these 3 pillars first, everything else becomes easier. Your good intentions transform into reliable systems. Your temporary bursts of motivation become permanent ways of being. Your dreams stop being wishes and start being inevitable outcomes. The master builder knows this secret. He spends most of his time where others cannot see the work. He understands that visible success grows from invisible foundations. You must become this kind of builder in your own life. Everything you want exists on the other side of a strong foundation. Everything you have struggled to achieve remains out of reach because you have been building on unstable ground. The solution is not more effort. The solution is better foundations. 2. Blueprint of inevitable success. No architect begins construction without a detailed plan, yet you try to build your future without blueprints. You set goals without designing the systems that will achieve them. You make promises without creating the structures that will keep them. This is why your good intentions remain unfulfilled dreams. Every successful person operates from invisible blueprints. These are not written plans gathering dust in drawers. These are living systems that guide daily decisions automatically. When you possess the right blueprint, good choices become effortless. When you lack this blueprint, every decision requires enormous willpower. What separates a blueprint from a wish? A blueprint contains specific steps, sequences, and timing. A blueprint shows exactly what must happen and when it must happen. A blueprint removes guesswork and eliminates the need for constant motivation. Consider how a master craftsman approaches his work. He does not wake up each morning wondering what to do. His blueprint tells him exactly which tools to gather, which materials to prepare, which steps to follow in precise order. His success becomes inevitable because he follows a proven system. You must develop this same approach to your life. Instead of hoping you will make good choices, you must design systems that make good choices automatic. Instead of relying on willpower, you must create blueprints that guide your actions without thinking. Here is the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle. Successful people think in systems, while unsuccessful people think in goals. The unsuccessful person says, I want to lose 20 pounds. The successful person says, I will prepare healthy meals every Sunday, eat breakfast at 7 each morning, and walk for 30 minutes after dinner every day. One is a destination without a map. The other is a detailed route with clear directions. Your blueprint must contain 3 essential elements. First, it must specify exact actions you will take. Vague intentions produce vague results. Exercise more is not a blueprint. Walk 2 miles at 6 in the morning Monday through Friday is a blueprint. The more specific your actions, the more automatic they become. Second, your blueprint must include precise timing. When you decide exactly when you will act, you eliminate the daily decision of whether to act. The when decision gets made once, then you simply follow the blueprint. Without specific timing, every action requires fresh motivation. Third, your blueprint must connect each action to your larger purpose. Why does this action matter? How does it serve your vision of who you are becoming? When you understand the deeper meaning behind each step, you develop the strength to follow through when motivation fades. Most people create elaborate plans they never follow. This happens because they design blueprints for perfect conditions rather than real life. Your blueprint must account for obstacles, interruptions, and difficult days. It must include backup plans and alternative approaches. The master builder knows that blueprints evolve through experience. He starts with a basic plan, then refines it based on what works and what does not work. Your life blueprint requires the same approach. Begin with clear actions, specific timing, and strong purpose. Then adjust as you learn. When you possess a proven blueprint, daily life becomes simple. You do not waste mental energy deciding what to do. You do not rely on motivation to carry you forward. You follow the system you have designed. Success becomes inevitable because you have created a path that leads nowhere else. 3. Tools shape the builder. A carpenter becomes masterful through 2 things: superior tools and disciplined practice. Give a master carpenter basic tools, and he will create beautiful work. Give an amateur carpenter the finest tools, and he will create amateur work. But give a master carpenter superior tools, and he will create masterpieces that last for generations. Your environment serves as your primary tool for shaping behavior. Most people ignore this truth. They try to build discipline while surrounded by temptation. They try to develop focus while living in chaos. They wonder why change feels so difficult when they have made it difficult by design. Here is what you must understand. Your environment shapes you far more than you shape your environment. The books on your shelves influence your thoughts. The food in your kitchen determines your eating habits. The people you spend time with affect your beliefs and actions. You become what surrounds you. This means you have tremendous power. When you control your environment, you control your behavior. When you design your surroundings correctly, good choices become automatic. When you neglect your environment, you must fight constant battles against yourself. Consider how master craftsmen organize their workshops. Every tool has a specific place. Every material is arranged for easy access. The workspace is clean and organized. This is not about being neat. This is about creating conditions where excellent work becomes natural. You must apply this same principle to every area of your life. If you want to read more books, place books where you naturally sit. Remove the magazines and newspapers that distract you. If you want to eat better food, fill your kitchen with healthy options. Remove the processed foods that tempt you late at night. Your environment should make good choices effortless and bad choices difficult. This is called environmental design. Instead of relying on willpower to resist temptation, you remove the temptation entirely. Instead of hoping you will remember good habits, you create visual reminders that trigger the behaviors you want. The strongest environmental changes affect three areas: what you see, what you reach for, and what you hear. What you see repeatedly influences what you think about. Place pictures of your goals where you will notice them daily. Remove images that reinforce old, unwanted habits. Your walls and surfaces should remind you of who you are becoming. What you reach for determines your instant choices. The easiest option usually wins when you feel tired or stressed. Make healthy foods the most convenient option. Make exercise equipment visible and accessible. Make books easier to grab than other forms of entertainment. What you hear shapes your internal conversation. The voices around you become the voice inside your head. Choose carefully who speaks into your life. Limit time with people who complain, criticize, or discourage growth. Increase time with people who inspire, encourage, and challenge you to improve. Environmental design works because it removes decisions from moments of weakness. When you feel tired after a long day, you will choose the easiest available option. When you design your environment correctly, the easiest option becomes the best option. This principle extends beyond physical spaces. Your daily routine creates an environmental rhythm. The sequence of your activities determines which behaviors feel natural. Morning routines set the tone for entire days. Evening routines prepare your mind for rest and recovery. Master builders understand that tools determine outcomes. Poor tools create poor results regardless of skill level. Excellent tools enable excellent results when combined with proper technique. Your environment operates as your primary tool for building the life you want. Design it deliberately, and watch your behavior transform naturally. 4. Rhythm creates power. Water carves canyons through consistent pressure over time. A single raindrop means nothing. A million raindrops falling in the same place over years create the Grand Canyon. Your daily rhythm operates by this same principle. Small actions performed consistently create massive results, while dramatic efforts performed sporadically create nothing lasting. Most people misunderstand the nature of power. They believe power comes from intense bursts of activity. They work 16 hours one day, then rest for 3 days. They exercise intensely for 2 weeks, then skip 2 months. They save money aggressively for 1 month, then spend carelessly for 6 months. This approach produces exhaustion, not results. True power comes from rhythm, not intensity. The master musician practices scales every day, not just before performances. The master athlete trains consistently, not just before competitions. The master craftsman works on his skills daily, not just when he feels motivated. Your body operates by rhythm. Your heart beats steadily, not sporadically. Your lungs breathe regularly, not occasionally. Your blood flows continuously, not intermittently. When these rhythms break down, life breaks down. When these rhythms remain strong and steady, life flourishes. Your habits must operate by the same principle. Daily rhythm creates unstoppable momentum. When you perform the right actions every day, they become as automatic as breathing. When you perform actions sporadically, they remain difficult and unnatural. Here is what separates those who achieve lasting change from those who struggle. Consistency beats intensity every time. The person who reads 10 pages daily will finish more books than the person who reads 50 pages once per week. The person who walks 30 minutes daily will become healthier than the person who exercises intensely once per week. Your rhythm must include 4 essential elements. First, specific timing. You must decide exactly when you will perform each important action. The same time every day creates the strongest rhythm. Your body and mind learn to expect certain activities at certain times. This expectation eliminates resistance. Second, proper sequencing. The order of your activities determines how easily they flow together. Morning routines work best when each activity naturally leads to the next. Evening routines should prepare your mind and body for rest. Link new habits to existing routines so they become part of the natural flow. Third, realistic duration. Most people create rhythms they cannot sustain. They plan to wake up 2 hours earlier starting tomorrow. They decide to exercise for 90 minutes daily when they currently exercise 0 minutes daily. Sustainable rhythm begins with small, manageable actions that can be performed even on difficult days. Fourth, built-in flexibility. Life will disrupt your rhythm occasionally. Travel, illness, and unexpected events will interfere with your plans. Your rhythm must include backup options for these situations. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency despite imperfection. The most powerful rhythm addresses all areas of life simultaneously. Your morning routine should prepare your body, mind, and spirit for the day ahead. Your work rhythm should balance focused effort with necessary rest. Your evening routine should help you process the day and prepare for quality sleep. When you establish strong daily rhythm, extraordinary results become inevitable. Small actions compound over time, like interest in a savings account. Each day builds upon the previous day. Each week strengthens the pattern. Each month demonstrates measurable progress. Water does not carve canyons through force. Water carves canyons through persistence. Your daily rhythm possesses this same unstoppable power when applied consistently over time. The question is not whether you can achieve what you want. The question is whether you will establish the rhythm that makes achievement inevitable. 5. Measurement breeds mastery. What gets measured gets mastered. This is not a pleasant saying. This is an iron law of human nature. Without clear feedback, you operate blindly, mistaking motion for progress. You feel busy but accomplish nothing meaningful. You work hard but move nowhere. Consider a ship crossing the ocean without instruments. The captain believes he sails toward his destination. He feels the wind in the sails. He sees the crew working diligently. But without compass, map, or stars to guide him, he may sail in circles for months. Effort without measurement leads to wasted motion. Your life requires the same navigation tools. You must know precisely where you stand today and exactly where you want to arrive tomorrow. You must track your progress with the same discipline a ship captain tracks his position. Without this knowledge, your best efforts may carry you away from your goals rather than toward them. Most people avoid measurement because it reveals uncomfortable truths. They prefer the illusion of progress to the reality of their current position. They would rather feel busy than know whether their busyness produces results. This avoidance keeps them trapped in cycles of ineffective action. The master craftsman measures constantly. He checks his angles with precise tools. He tests the strength of each joint. He compares his work against exact standards. This is not perfectionism. This is professionalism. He understands that excellent results require accurate feedback at every stage. You must develop this same approach to your personal systems. Simple tracking reveals patterns you cannot see otherwise. When you record what you actually do versus what you plan to do, you discover where your systems break down. When you measure results over time, you identify which actions produce the greatest impact. Effective measurement requires 3 elements. First, you must track the right things. Most people measure outcomes they cannot directly control. They track their weight but ignore their eating and exercise habits. They track their income but ignore their skill development and work performance. Track the actions you control, not just the results you want. Second, you must measure consistently. Sporadic measurement provides no useful information. Daily tracking reveals patterns that weekly tracking misses. Weekly tracking shows trends that monthly tracking cannot detect. The frequency of measurement should match the frequency of the behavior you want to improve. Third, you must use measurement for learning, not judgment. Numbers are information, not verdicts about your worth as a person. When measurement shows poor results, this means your system needs adjustment, not that you are failing as a human being. The goal is improvement, not perfection. The simplest measurement systems work best. A single number on a calendar, a check mark in a journal, a tally on a piece of paper. Complexity kills consistency. When your tracking system requires more than 30 seconds per day, you will abandon it within weeks. Your measurement system should answer three critical questions. What did I do today? How well did I do it? What will I do differently tomorrow? These questions create a feedback loop that drives continuous improvement. Each day builds on the lessons of the previous day. Without measurement, you cannot tell whether your systems work. You cannot identify which habits produce results and which habits waste time. You cannot make informed adjustments to improve your approach. You operate on hope rather than knowledge. Master builders measure twice and cut once. They understand that accuracy in measurement prevents costly mistakes in construction. Your personal development requires the same precision. Measure your actions. Track your progress. Learn from the feedback. This discipline separates those who dream from those who achieve. 6. Obstacles become stepping stones. Every system faces resistance and breakdown. This is not a flaw in your planning. This is the nature of reality. The question is not whether obstacles will appear. The question is how you will respond when they do. Your response determines whether difficulties destroy your progress or strengthen your resolve. Most people design systems for perfect conditions. They plan to wake up early when they feel rested. They commit to exercise when the weather is pleasant. They promise to eat well when they have time to prepare meals. Then life happens. They oversleep. It rains. Work runs late. Their perfect system crumbles at the first sign of imperfection. This approach guarantees failure because perfect conditions rarely exist. The master builder knows that storms will come. He designs structures that withstand harsh weather, not just pleasant days. His buildings survive because he plans for difficulties rather than hoping they will not occur. You must approach your personal systems with the same wisdom. Instead of creating plans that work only under ideal circumstances, create plans that work especially well under difficult circumstances. Instead of hoping obstacles will not appear, prepare specific responses for when they do appear. Here is the truth that separates those who persist from those who quit. Obstacles are not interruptions to your system. Obstacles are part of your system. They test your commitment. They reveal weaknesses in your approach. They provide opportunities to develop strength you did not know you possessed. Consider how a river responds to a boulder blocking its path. The water does not stop flowing. It does not complain about the unfairness of the obstruction. It simply finds another way around, over, or through the obstacle. The river always reaches its destination because it adapts without abandoning its purpose. Your response to difficulties must demonstrate the same persistence. When your morning routine gets disrupted, you adapt the timing but maintain the activities. When injury prevents your usual exercise, you find alternative movements that work within your limitations. When unexpected expenses affect your savings plan, you adjust the amounts but continue the habit. Every obstacle contains a hidden gift. Difficulties force you to become more creative, more flexible, more resourceful. Easy paths create weak character. Challenging paths build the strength needed for lasting success. The person who never faces resistance never develops the muscles required for significant achievement. Your system must include 3 types of preparation for obstacles. First, anticipate common problems and create specific backup plans. If you usually exercise outdoors, plan indoor alternatives for bad weather. If you typically prepare meals at home, identify healthy options for busy days. If you normally read before bed, choose shorter materials for tired evenings. Second, develop the mindset that obstacles are training rather than punishment. Each difficulty strengthens your ability to handle future challenges. Each setback teaches valuable lessons about improving your approach. Each problem solved increases your confidence in your ability to overcome whatever comes next. Third, create recovery protocols for when systems break down completely. This will happen occasionally despite your best preparation. Your recovery protocol should get you back on track within 24 hours, not next week or next month. The faster you resume your routine after disruption, the stronger your system becomes. The strongest steel goes through the hottest fire. The tallest trees weather the fiercest storms. Your character develops through the same process. Obstacles do not prevent success. Obstacles create the strength that makes success inevitable. When you learn to use difficulties as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, you become unstoppable. 7. Multiplication through leverage. Simple machines multiply human strength through mechanical advantage. A lever allows one person to move objects that would require 10 people without it. A pulley system enables lifting weights far beyond normal human capacity. The principle remains the same. Find the right leverage point, and small efforts create massive results. Your personal systems can be designed with built-in leverage points that amplify ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. Most people work harder when they should work smarter. They add more hours instead of finding better methods. They increase effort instead of improving efficiency. This approach leads to exhaustion, not excellence. The master craftsman understands leverage. He sharpens his tools because sharp tools cut easier than dull ones. He organizes his workspace because order saves time and energy. He learns new techniques because better methods produce superior results with less effort. He thinks in terms of multiplication, not just addition. Consider how one small change can transform entire systems. Learning to prepare meals in advance saves hours every week and improves nutrition daily. Developing the habit of reading before sleep replaces mindless activities with valuable learning. Creating morning routines eliminates decision fatigue and starts each day with momentum. These are leverage points. Single actions that influence multiple areas of your life simultaneously. When you identify and activate these crucial few activities, you achieve disproportionate results compared to the effort invested. The most powerful leverage comes from addressing root causes rather than surface symptoms. Most people attack problems at the wrong level. They try to manage their time better when they should eliminate unnecessary activities. They attempt to increase willpower when they should improve their environment. They work on discipline when they should work on systems. Root cause leverage requires deeper thinking. Instead of asking, "How can I do this faster?" ask, "How can I eliminate the need to do this at all?" Instead of wondering, "How can I remember this habit?" consider, "How can I make this habit automatic?" Instead of focusing on, "How can I work harder?" explore, "How can I make this work easier?" The principle of leverage applies to 3 critical areas of your life. First, skill development. Learning fundamental skills that apply to multiple situations creates enormous leverage. The ability to communicate clearly improves relationships, career prospects, and leadership capacity simultaneously. The skill of focused thinking enhances problem-solving, decision-making, and learning speed across all areas. Second, relationship building. Connecting with the right people multiplies your opportunities exponentially. One conversation with a mentor can save years of trial and error. One introduction to a key person can open doors that would otherwise remain closed. One partnership with someone whose strengths complement your weaknesses can double your effectiveness. Third, system improvement. Small enhancements to your daily systems compound over time into massive advantages. Improving your sleep quality by 30 minutes increases energy, focus, and mood throughout each day. Streamlining your decision-making process eliminates mental fatigue and speeds progress toward goals. Optimizing your learning methods accelerates skill acquisition across all subjects. Leverage requires patience because the benefits often appear delayed. Planting an apple tree requires years before harvest, but one tree produces fruit for decades. Learning a valuable skill takes months or years, but the skill serves you for life. Building strong relationships requires consistent investment, but these relationships become increasingly valuable over time. The wealthy understand leverage while the poor understand only effort. The successful identify the crucial few actions that create the most impact while the unsuccessful spread their energy across many less important activities. When you learn to recognize and activate leverage points, you join the ranks of those who achieve more by doing less, but doing it with precision and purpose. 8. Maintenance ensures longevity. The finest machines require regular maintenance to function optimally. A craftsman who neglects his tools discovers they become dull, rusty, and unreliable. A farmer who ignores his equipment finds it breaks down during crucial seasons. A ship captain who skips routine inspections watches his vessel fail when he needs it most. Your personal systems operate by the same principle. They require periodic review and adjustment to remain effective. Most people create systems, then abandon them to run automatically forever. This approach guarantees eventual failure because all systems drift toward disorder without conscious maintenance. Consider how your body maintains itself. Your heart beats steadily, but it requires rest between beats. Your muscles grow stronger, but they need recovery time after exercise. Your mind processes information constantly, but it demands sleep for restoration. Even the most robust natural systems include maintenance cycles built into their design. Your habits and routines need the same careful attention. What works perfectly in January may require modification by June. What serves you well in one season of life may hinder progress in another season. External circumstances change. Your priorities evolve. Your capabilities expand. Your systems must adapt accordingly. The master builder conducts regular inspections of his structures. He checks for cracks in the foundation, wear in the joints, and stress in the beams. He addresses small problems before they become large failures. He replaces worn components before they break completely. This prevents catastrophic breakdowns and ensures long-term durability. You must approach your personal systems with identical diligence. Schedule regular review sessions to evaluate what works and what needs improvement. Ask yourself 3 critical questions. Which habits serve my current goals? Which activities waste time and energy? Which systems need adjustment to remain effective? Effective maintenance addresses 4 key areas. First, eliminate what no longer serves you. Every system accumulates unnecessary elements over time. Commitments that once made sense become burdens. Habits that once helped become hindrances. Relationships that once inspired become draining. Regular pruning keeps your systems lean and powerful. Second, strengthen what works exceptionally well. When you identify habits or practices that produce outstanding results, invest more time and energy into them. Double down on your most effective routines. Expand systems that consistently deliver value. Success breeds more success when you amplify what already works. Third, repair what shows signs of breakdown. Small problems in systems become large disasters when ignored. A morning routine that starts 15 minutes late gradually becomes an hour late. An exercise habit that skips 1 day per week eventually becomes skipping 1 week per month. Address drift immediately before it becomes collapse. Fourth, upgrade components that limit overall performance. Your systems are only as strong as their weakest elements. One poorly designed habit can undermine an otherwise excellent routine. One toxic relationship can poison an otherwise supportive environment. Identify and improve the bottlenecks that constrain your progress. Maintenance requires honesty about current reality versus desired outcomes. Many people maintain the illusion of effective systems while ignoring obvious problems. They pretend their routines work while consistently missing important goals. They avoid honest assessment because it reveals uncomfortable truths about needed changes. The most successful people treat system maintenance as seriously as they treat system creation. They understand that building good habits is only half the challenge. Maintaining and improving those habits over years and decades is what separates temporary change from permanent transformation. Your systems will serve you faithfully when you serve them faithfully. Regular maintenance prevents major breakdowns, ensures consistent performance, and extends the useful life of everything you build. Neglect leads to decay. Attention leads to excellence. 9. Integration creates seamlessness. Separate systems working in isolation create chaos and conflict. Most people build their lives like disconnected islands. They have a morning routine, an exercise plan, a work schedule, a family time, and a personal development program. Each system operates independently, competing for the same limited time and energy. This creates internal warfare rather than internal harmony. True mastery comes from integrating all life areas into one coherent operating system. When your systems work together instead of against each other, you eliminate friction and maximize results. Your morning routine prepares you perfectly for your work demands. Your exercise schedule complements your sleep patterns. Your learning activities connect directly to your career goals. Consider how a master clockmaker builds a timepiece. Every gear, spring, and wheel serves the larger purpose of keeping accurate time. Each component is precisely sized and positioned to work in perfect harmony with all other components. No part operates independently. No element conflicts with another element. The entire mechanism functions as a unified whole. Your life requires the same level of integration. Every habit should support your larger vision. Every routine should strengthen your other routines. Every system should create energy for your other systems rather than drain energy from them. This is not about perfection. This is about alignment. Most people exhaust themselves fighting internal conflicts created by poorly integrated systems. They try to wake up early while staying up late. They commit to healthy eating while maintaining stressful work habits. They promise to spend more time with family while accepting every social invitation. These competing priorities create constant tension and inevitable failure. Integration eliminates these conflicts by aligning all activities with your core values and primary objectives. When every system serves the same ultimate purpose, decisions become simple. You choose the option that strengthens your integrated approach rather than the option that provides temporary pleasure or avoids temporary discomfort. The process of integration begins with clarity about your fundamental priorities. What matters most in your life? What kind of person do you want to become? What legacy do you want to leave? These questions reveal the central organizing principle around which all other systems should be arranged. Once you identify your core purpose, evaluate every current system against this standard. Does your morning routine prepare you to pursue your most important goals? Do your work habits align with your long-term vision? Do your relationships support or undermine your personal growth? Do your leisure activities restore your energy or drain your vitality? Systems that conflict with your core purpose must be modified or eliminated. Systems that support your core purpose should be strengthened and expanded. This process requires difficult decisions about activities, commitments, and relationships that no longer serve your integrated approach to life. Effective integration creates natural rhythms that support themselves automatically. Your evening routine prepares you for quality sleep. Quality sleep enables an energetic morning routine. An energetic morning routine creates momentum for productive work. Productive work generates satisfaction and confidence. Satisfaction and confidence improve your relationships. Strong relationships provide support for maintaining all your other systems. This creates an upward spiral where success in one area automatically supports success in all other areas. Instead of fighting against yourself, you work with yourself. Instead of systems that compete for your attention, you develop systems that enhance each other naturally. The physical environment plays a crucial role in integration. Your workspace should support both productivity and wellness. Your home should facilitate both rest and activity. Your transportation choices should align with your health and financial goals. Every physical space should reinforce the behaviors that matter most to you. Your schedule becomes the practical expression of integration. Instead of cramming disconnected activities into available time slots, you design daily and weekly rhythms that flow smoothly from one activity to the next. Morning activities prepare you for midday activities. Midday activities set up afternoon activities. Afternoon activities transition naturally into evening activities. Integration extends to your learning and growth activities. Instead of studying random subjects that interest you momentarily, you focus on knowledge and skills that directly support your core objectives. Instead of pursuing every opportunity that appears, you choose opportunities that strengthen your integrated approach to success. The most integrated people appear to have more time than everyone else. This is not because they work less or have fewer responsibilities. This is because their systems work together so efficiently that they accomplish more with less effort. They eliminate the friction that exhausts most people and creates the smooth flow that characterizes master-level performance. Integration is not a destination, but a continuous process. As you grow and evolve, your systems must be regularly realigned to maintain harmony. New priorities emerge. Old priorities lose importance. External circumstances change. Your integrated approach must adapt while maintaining its essential coherence. When you achieve true integration, life becomes effortless in the most profound sense. Not because challenges disappear, but because you respond to challenges with the full power of all your systems working in perfect coordination. This is the difference between struggling against life and flowing with life toward your chosen destination. 10. Legacy through systems thinking. Masters understand that their greatest contribution lies not in personal achievement, but in creating systems that outlast their creators. The farmer plants trees whose fruit he may never taste. The teacher shares knowledge that will influence students for generations. The craftsman builds structures that will serve communities long after he passes away. This is systems thinking at its highest level. Your personal systems possess this same potential for lasting impact. The habits you develop today will influence your children tomorrow. The principles you live by become examples others follow. The systems you create and share multiply your influence far beyond your individual lifetime. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary legacies. Most people think only in terms of immediate results. They ask, "What will this do for me now?" instead of, "What will this create for others later?" They focus on personal benefit rather than lasting contribution. This short-term thinking limits their impact to their own brief existence instead of extending their influence across generations. Systems thinking operates from a different perspective. It considers the ripple effects that spread outward from every action. It recognizes that today's choices become tomorrow's consequences. It understands that the systems you build continue generating value long after you stop actively maintaining them. This creates the possibility of compound impact that grows exponentially over time. Consider how the greatest masters throughout history created their lasting influence. They did not achieve immortality through single brilliant moments. They achieved immortality by creating systems that continued working after they were gone. The philosopher creates thinking systems that shape minds for centuries. The inventor creates mechanical systems that solve problems for generations. The leader creates organizational systems that outlive their personal involvement. You possess the same opportunity to create systems that transcend your individual life. The morning routine you perfect becomes a gift you pass to your children. The problem-solving methods you develop become tools you share with colleagues. The relationship principles you discover become wisdom you offer to friends. Every system you master becomes a potential legacy you leave behind. Legacy systems share three essential characteristics. First, they are simple enough for others to understand and implement. Complex systems die with their creators because no one else can maintain them. Simple systems survive because anyone can learn and apply them. The most enduring principles can be explained to a child and practiced by anyone willing to make the effort. Second, they address fundamental human needs that remain constant across time and culture. Fashion changes every season, but the need for health remains eternal. Technology evolves rapidly, but the need for meaningful relationships never changes. Entertainment transforms constantly, but the need for personal growth persists through every generation. Systems built around timeless needs create timeless value. Third, they improve with use rather than deteriorate with use. Physical objects wear out when used repeatedly. System principles grow stronger when applied consistently. The more people who practice effective morning routines, the more evidence accumulates about their benefits. The more individuals who apply sound relationship principles, the more examples exist to guide others. Truth spreads and strengthens through multiplication. Your responsibility extends beyond personal success to systematic contribution. What systems have you discovered that others could benefit from learning? What principles have transformed your life in ways that could transform other lives? what methods have solved your problems in ways that could solve similar problems for other people. This does not require you to become a teacher or writer in the formal sense. It requires you to think systematically about how your personal discoveries can serve others. The parent who develops effective family routines shares them with other parents. The employee who creates productivity systems shares them with colleagues. The friend who masters stress management shares techniques with their social circle. The most powerful legacy systems often emerge from personal struggles overcome through systematic approaches. Your greatest difficulties become your most valuable contributions when you transform them into replicable solutions. The health challenges you solve become systems others can use to solve similar challenges. The relationship conflicts you resolve become principles others can apply to resolve their conflicts. Systems thinking changes how you approach personal development. Instead of asking, "How can I improve my life?" you begin asking, "How can I improve my life in ways that also improve other lives?" Instead of seeking quick fixes for immediate problems, you develop comprehensive solutions that address root causes others face as well. The ultimate test of any system is not whether it works for you, but whether it continues working when others apply it. Can your morning routine be adapted by someone with different circumstances? Do your productivity methods function in various work environments? Will your relationship principles strengthen different types of partnerships? When you think in systems rather than goals, when you build for legacy rather than immediate gratification, when you create solutions that multiply rather than solutions that satisfy only yourself, you join the ranks of those whose influence extends far beyond their physical presence. This is how you ensure that your life generates compound returns long after your systems complete their work.